for his back bumper. Little contact. Burton gets into the back of Hornaday. Hornaday slides up into the wall. Caution will come out. That was from contact from Burton.
There was one more test to pass. Look at all the damage to that No Fear Chevrolet.
Probably not going to get a passing grade for that move.
Well, it's Martinsville. You're going to have contact, but yeah, under no circumstances, I think, obviously that was not intentional, but nonetheless a huge mistake there. Saw Kevin Harvick pull up beside Jeb and said, "Hey, Jeb, come on, man. You can't do that."
He patiently worked his way through every truck, and when he got to Hornaday, he had a much faster truck, and that's all part of learning as a rookie. You got a much faster truck. Just take your time and get the job done. And plenty of racing obviously left, but in that case, he just jumped on Hornaday. But let's go back to the restart. Maybe he felt like that inside dive that Ron put on him wasn't exactly fair game either, and he felt like that Ron maybe should have given him the entry to the corner like Jeb gave to Hornaday. I don't know what all their thinking is, but I just know there's a lot of racing left, and there's no sense in making somebody like Ron Hornaday a champion in this series, making them mad.
Yeah, Mikey, I think it's more of a mistake, I think, maybe than a calculated retaliation. A lot of damage to that truck, though.
No, I
wasn't
insinuating he retaliated. I'm just saying I gave you a hole, give me one.
Yeah.
And when he didn't give it to him, he hit him.
Yeah. Nothing Ron could do at that point once the contact was made.
The moves that Ron made on that restart were great short track racing moves. He got the lead. He was able to get out front because of good solid racing. There was nothing pretty about this.
Come on down.
Ray, let's find out what they're talking about on the radio with the 4 team.
Well, Jeb Burton came on and said, boy, I hate that happened, but he said, I held my line going into the corner and Hornaday tried to block me. That's what created the contact there. His crew chief, Mike Hillman Jr., said, keep in mind the number 24 is Hornaday's teammate. Bob?
A lot of damage right now in Ron Hornaday's truck. He's on pit road, and they are trying to assess the damage on that machine and try to move some of that sheet metal away from some of the tires as well. They believe they have a broken track bar mount on the rear end of that machine, but Ron Hornaday, honestly, guys, was just riding. He and Harvick's teams were talking about how they needed to save tires until at least lap 175, so that came as to a big surprise, that contact from Jeb Burton.
You know, Jeb Burton made the comment, or we heard that he made the comment about holding his line. At this racetrack, the line is pretty similar. Everyone wants that one line. It's the matter of being on the brakes enough that you don't run into the guy in front of you. And that's, in this situation, Jeb Burton just, it was slight contact, but it was enough that it put Hornaday into the wall.
Yeah, we have a long way to go. We have, 140 laps here. This is right after we were slowed for the caution. Kevin Harvick pulls up beside him, and you know what he's saying.
You see him point.
Yeah, saying, man, you gotta, you can't run in the back of somebody like that. You just have to take it easy.
There wasn't any racing about this move. It wasn't that they battled and bumped and banged. As soon as he got there, he hit him.
And I think if I'm Jeb Burton, I'm going to jump on the radio and say, man, I didn't mean to run in the back. And please tell him I'm sorry.
I certainly wouldn't have said I held my line.
Right.
So Hornaday has been to pit road. The crew has worked a bit on the rear end of that 9, but obviously see a lot of damage to the back of the 9 truck.
Yeah, we're getting a report now that Jeb did. We heard a lot of some of his conversation, but he did